I'm Bob, and I'm going to focus on social hierarchy. Social hierarchy is only able to flourish with political science since we can analyze and understand issues and effectively fix them. Social cohesion, which is people feeling connected to others and their society, is an important component as an active social cohesion naturally encourages people to participate and contribute how they can. Us political scientists can ensure social cohesion is occurring to its highest extent because we can analyze if, when, or why it is failing, as well as having the knowledge to fix it. Crime is prevalent in all societies, though as political scientists, we have the tools to reduce it. The two lead causes for crime are mental health issues and out of desperation. The mental health related issues are often due to a lack of feeling like one belongs or has purpose, though we solve for this through ensuring social cohesion. Desperation-related crimes will not be prevalent, as you will hear later, since food, water, and shelter will be evenly and fairly distributed among the group members. The only crimes left are those that are out of malice, which can be dealt with through a rehabilitative system, helping people become better, as this causes the least amount of reoffending once released back to society, rather than punishing them with a time in a prison-like situation. Finally, governmental legitimacy matters because people need to trust those that lead them, which is only possible when they believe the decisions being made are fair and just. As political scientists, we can find out why people are not fully trusting their leaders, often solvable with regulations on how their decisions are being made or rethinking who that leader actually is. As political scientists, we know we don't have your specific expertise, but we do know how to make sure everyone is able to utilize their specific discipline skill within the post-apocalyptic scenario through social cohesion, crime mitigation, and upholding a legitimate governmental system and framework.
Oh no! Now we are stranded on a tropical island. How will we obtain drinkable water? How will we achieve water security? And worst of all, how will we prevent corruption? Oh wait, I'm a political scientist, and I can manage these issues by creating policies. Now that I'm looking around, I'm noticing that this island and its resources are similar to Singapore, which means I can grab ideas from them. First, I must address how drinkable water will be obtained. On the island, the government should be responsible for the purification and retrieval of water. In Singapore, the government established a national water agency and an efficient 3-step water filtration system. Both systems have proven highly successful since in 2024, Singapore ranked 8th globally for sanitation and drinking water. Also, we as social scientists will create policies requiring quality checks at every step of the water purification process, so that no mistakes are made, and if for some reason the water quality is not up to standards, it will be easier to correct. Water will also be required to pass through 3 different types of filtration. By creating and maintaining these policies, the government and environmental scientists responsible for water will be held at a high standard, ensuring the longevity of clean water. Political science can also tackle achieving water security on the island. Singapore has a water loop system to ensure as much water is recycled. However, this system is not enough to provide water for everyone, which is why Singapore takes seawater and desalinates it, turning it into fresh, purified water. Also, just like Singapore's laws, the government ensures that every industry and household will have access to a well-maintained sewage system. These policies on the island will ensure that there are enough sewage systems in place to recycle as much water as possible, thereby reducing water scarcity. Oh, since we already have access to a desalinator, we will create policies ensuring its use if there is not enough water for the island citizens. Additionally, policies will be put in place to regularly check water pipes and materials used for water to spot any leaks to prevent water waste. Political science can help prevent government corruption and water hoarding. To prevent an entity from monopolizing water, policies will ensure water is acquired in 3 ways. Water shall be obtained by water reservoirs, water filtration facilities, and desalination facilities. By separating water into 3 processes, this will ensure that no facility has a monopoly over water and that each facility contributes. Any government official found to have bribed or acted in their own benefit will be sentenced to jail, stripped of their job and title. To add on, the government will not charge for water use. Creating a policy that ensures free water will prevent government corruption through gaining more money. This will also incentivize the government to invest in more efficient, low-cost ways to provide clean water for its citizens. Wow! Now talking it through, political scientists are needed on this island to create these policies.
I know everyone thinks shelter is just about building a hut or finding a dry spot to sleep, but shelter is much more than walls and leaves. Shelter is protection, stability, and the only thing that keeps a new community safe on the island. And the truth is, shelter only works when it's organized. That's why political science is so important. In every real disaster, hurricanes, wildfires, floods, people only survive because systems like FEMA and emergency laws coordinate shelters. Protection is never random, it's planned. And without that kind of structure, our shelter here would fall apart. Think about what would happen if we tried to build shelters with no plan. People might pick dangerous spots, build too close to cliffs, or argue over materials. Someone might hoard supplies and someone else might get stuck with nothing. And if anyone gets injured or has trouble moving, they might not even be able to get inside their shelter safely. That's not survival, that's chaos. Political science fixes us by helping us choose safe areas, organize who builds what, create fair rules for sharing materials, and make sure every survivor, no matter their ability, has a secure place to rest. We're not here to control the shelter, we're here to protect it. Political science also thinks ahead. A shelter isn't just a temporary tent we use for one night. It's the foundation of our entire community. As storms come, seasons change, and our group grows, we need a system to keep our shelters strong and fair. Political science helps us plan for long-term maintaining shelters, expanding them, and preparing for emergencies, so we don't lose everything in one bad storm. Anyone can make a quick stick house, but only structure, planning, and fairness keeps us safe for months and years. Even though my role is shelter, political science actually helps every team here. Without organization, the food team might argue about who gathers, cooks, and stores supplies. The water team might struggle with fairness and safety. The society team needs rules, communication, and conflict resolution just to keep peace on the island. Political science doesn't replace their jobs, it supports them, strengthening them and brings everyone together so we don't fall apart as separate groups. And here's what makes political science truly different. We include everyone. Our shelter plan doesn't just protect the strongest or the fastest, it protects every survivor equally. We make space for people with injuries, disabilities, and fears. We might conflict over sleeping areas. We make sure we prevent, oh my god. Okay. And what makes political science truly different? We include everyone. Our shelter plan doesn't just protect the strongest or the fastest. It protects every survivor equally. We make space for people with injuries, disabilities, and fears. We prevent conflict over sleeping areas. We make sure resources are shared fairly. Political science doesn't just take power away from other groups. We lift all the groups up so they can succeed as well.
I am Matilda, and I'm focusing on food. Food inventory policy is an integral part of disaster relief. It helps prevent health risks, prevent food waste, and is crucial to creating security and trust within society. One way this can be done is using good policy to use as a model and to adapt to our own scenario. Political science, having the expertise with policies and how to implement them correctly for survivors, are the only ones who can do this. According to the 2022 Global Food Security Index, Finland has the highest global food security and purity. This is done through well-rounded, complex policies that political scientists understand and can apply. One such policy is the first in, first out rule, and policies to support a complex grain system. While creating a complex system for grain and FIFO, first in, first out, may not be possible right away, we can still set up a rudimentary, well-organized administration to do this. For instance, some genotypes of corn are native to tropical islands, and we can start by collecting as much grain as we can without disturbing the environment. Then, the grain can be separated into two groups, one for longer storage and one group to be used right away to make corn flour for cornbread, tortillas, or roti. Then we inventory the leftover grain by using big leaves and slightly burnt sticks to create charcoal to use as writing utensils to keep written records of food. To help keep track of it, to keep track of who eats it and who handles it before it is eaten. This streamlines food security and accessibility. The records can also be made public to build trust. Vote for political science to have good quality and safe food.
If nothing works, volcano!